Hello and welcome to Zero to Awesome. Today we're going to be making a rotary powered airplane out of my old Rx-7 engine and those busted truck bed covers I've been hanging on to for the past 3 years. But first, let's take a look around the garage and see what's going on with each of our projects. I'm sorry, cut. What is that scrolling across the screen? What do you mean, dude? What do I meme? Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because memes are today's sponsor. With memes, you can make fun of everyone you know in a fun and lighthearted way. There's a meme for mom, dad, baby, your BFF, everybody you know. And here's the best part. They can't get mad at you because you didn't really meme it. I'm so confused right now. Dude, this is just the intro. It's not really supposed to meme anything. I thought we were filming an entire episode. Well, it doesn't really matter what you thought because that's all for today. So don't forget to like and subscribe and we'll see you on the next one. So today on Zero to Awesome, we're gonna do one of those garage updates where we show you around all the cars, the things we got planned for them, that sort of thing, except we're not. Today, our garage update is going to be an update on the garage. Looks a little bit different than the last time you saw it, maybe. So if you remember, whenever I moved into this place, we did a tour of like the different garages. There's one here, there's one over there. Problem is, none of them are big enough to fit my car lift in. We can't get cars up and work on them. Well, I mean, you could go up like a foot or two, but that's about it. So it's been determined that this garage is coming down and a much bigger garage is going in its place. Now you may be thinking, why tear down a perfectly good garage? You could just add on to either side of it. The thing is, this wasn't a perfectly good garage. If you come over here, there was a window up there and it, over time, that's not good. You shouldn't be able to push apart your garage with your finger. So maybe there's some way we could have found to save that part of the garage, redo the board on the bottom. I don't know, but the thing is, it's not long enough, it's not tall enough, so we're doing away with the whole thing. And when I say we're gonna be doing it, I mean these guys that I've hired, they're gonna be doing all the hard work, because if I was to do this myself, and I really did want to, it's just gonna take forever. I'll show you here in a second, but the size this thing is gonna be, it would take myself a very long time. My family would probably not see me for approximately 3 years. So general plan, this one-car garage gets replaced with a one-car garage, but it's gonna be a little bit different. So right now this garage is 20 feet deep out to here. This one's gonna be 25 feet deep, so we can get, you know, like trucks, bigger cars in there. The ceiling right now in here, I think this is like 8 feet tall. We're gonna have a 12-foot tall ceiling in here. And attached to the one-car garage is going to be a two-car garage. So this mud pit of despair over here that we did not cover up with new grass, that was intentional. So it's actually gonna be a 3-car garage. You're gonna have one single bay and then a double bay over here. They're all gonna be oversized garage doors so we can get the Raptor in there easy, any of the wide stuff that we wanna get in there. And then for the best part, over here on this side of the one-car garage, we're gonna do a shop. So it's gonna be 20 feet wide from the edge of that garage all the way over to probably about almost this dead tree right here that also has to come down. And then from the back, it's gonna be 35 feet deep. So somewhere out to, I don't know, like here-ish. And that should give us plenty of room for working on really everything we need to. The shop's gonna have a 16-foot tall ceiling. I'm gonna put a 2-post lift in that. I think there's actually gonna be a bathroom in there too, which will be nice. And in case me waving my hand around all willy-nilly didn't work for you, here's the actual plans of what it's gonna look like. And so I think normally with something like this, I'd probably just like wait till the end when it was all done, show you all the entire process of getting the garage built. But today I wanted to do this in advance of getting the garage built because I was wondering if y'all had any ideas for what we should put in it. So like organization type stuff, specific lighting, fans, anything like that. So if y'all have any ideas for shop accessories, garage accessories, whatever, let me know down in the comments. And in the few seconds it took to show you what the garage is gonna look like when it's done, we've already made some progress, which is there is no garage. My garage is gone. Yeah, so it was actually pretty funny. The guys, they came, they took off the siding, and it was so rotted out that all they had to do was push it, and it just fell over. So it's gone now. They're gonna come later this week and take out these trees over here, and after that we should get to digging and pouring and the building part of it. So that is the literal update on the garage, but I am gonna go ahead and do a garage update on the vehicles because we have had people ask for that in the past. So we're gonna start with the newest and go to the oldest vehicles that we have. So we're going to start with the Escalade. This is a 2021 Cadillac Escalade, and this is the wife's daily driver, but I still consider it part of the fleet because I've done some work on it, and by work I mean I like, you know, blacked out the reflectors and the emblems, and people hated that, but you know, whatever. Up next for this car, what I did not do was paint the wheels, so it's still got all this, you know, silver shiny stuff all over the wheels, and it has come to bug me. So soon those are getting painted, although I don't think we're gonna go with black. So stay tuned for the surprise color for that. So the number one question I get about the Escalade is, do I think it was worth it? Would I buy it again? And I'm not sure the answer is yes. And that's because, like, I mean, just to put things in perspective, the 3-car garage and the shop that we're about to build over here is budgeted to be within $1,000 of what we paid for the Escalade. Like, I can't believe cars have gotten that expensive and you can't even pee in it. Like, you'll be able to pee in the shop. I think it's frowned upon if you pee in the Escalade. So this is my 2017 F-150 Raptor. You've probably seen this a lot on our channel. We've done a bunch of work to it. We did the fog lights, we did the hidden winch, we did the leveling kit for the front, the wheels and tires. You've probably heard way too much about the truck drawer in there. We've also got the Cobb Stage 2 kit on here. That means intercooler, air intake, and a tune. And I have not had this truck dynoed, but people who have the same mods have reported 530 horsepower after those mods, so maybe, who knows? I think at one point we fixed a fender and painted it. Got the hot dog holder 5000 back here. And the endless videos about bed cover. Actually, so this is what, my 4th bed cover, and it has now been a year, and this one has not fallen apart yet. I do occasionally get people asking me if they should buy this new version of the bed cover, and I'll tell you, it will last at least a year. So that's all I can say. We'll see. Future plans for the truck, probably not too much really. I do still want to lift it a little bit. So our leveling kit, after we put on the winch in the front, it sagged right back down. So I'd like to lift it enough so I can put 37s on there, but it's like a whole nother level of lifting. You need basically all new suspension, and that kind of gets pricey. So we'll see, that might be in the future. Next up is my 2016 Polaris Ranger. So I bought this at auction because I needed to rent one to haul a lot of rock in my backyard. And I thought it was gonna be cheaper to buy one than it was to rent one. And that did turn out to be the case. But then I thought I was gonna sell it, and it's stuck around. I use it all the time, and so it's still here. We've done a lot to this too. We lifted it, bigger wheels and tires, made a sound system in there, added a whole bunch of spider webs because that was a good idea. And the biggest question I get is the Raptor Liner. So this thing was all plastic and we Raptor lined it. And the question is, does the Raptor Liner hold up? And so it has been, I think, at least a year now since we put this on here. And so the answer is yes, it has been holding up, at least everywhere where we prepped it properly. So I did not prep the ceiling here because I wasn't planning on spraying it, and then I just did it the last minute. And so it has come off the ceiling because that was not even, I don't think it was clean whenever we did it, but everywhere else where we sanded it and cleaned it, it has held up really well. 2015 Chevy Corvette. So this was basically as bone stock Corvette as you can get. It's not a Z06, Z51, Grand Sport, anything like that. It's just the base Stingray. The one option it does have is the performance exhaust, which would give it 5 extra horsepower and torque for a good number of 460. I did add the aero kit here, put on some black wheels, lowered it all the way down on the stock leveling bolts, and I think that's probably going to be it for the Corvettes. I do really like the wider rear fenders that the Z06 and the Grand Sport have on them. I've looked into that before, adding them after the fact, and it's just been super expensive and not really worth it. I've also tried looking at wide body kits for these, can't really find any that I like, but if I do find an economical way to do the Z06 or Grand Sport fenders or a wide body kit, if I find one I like, that might be in the future for this car. But apart from that, it's been a great car. So this is a 2000 and I'm not sure because I don't remember Bob, and it is also covered in spider webs. It's been a few months since he's been used here. A little dirty on the outside, but everything inside is still all good. So Bob, B-O-B, stands for Big Off-Road Benroy. So Benroy is like the style of the camper, and it's bigger than your traditional teardrop would be. You got the kitchen back here, fridge, bunch of storage. And then inside you have a little bit of a mess because we haven't used it in a little bit, but queen size bed, air conditioner, fan up there, lights all around. We got speakers. Up here, these are some bunk beds. The top one folds down so you can actually make this into a couch. And Bob has been great. We haven't used it as much since we've had kids because it's just harder to go camping with children. And the few times we have gone camping, we've figured out that Bob, even though it has bunk beds and room for everybody to sleep, it may not be as big as we'd like it to be. So, we're building a bigger shop over there, which means we could probably build a bigger Bob. So there might be a bigger version of that in the future. And for our next video, we need to take a little bit of a trip down the road. I was really excited when we bought this house because it had enough room for me to store all my stuff, but since that garage is gone now, we have a storage unit with some more cars in it. So So this is the storage unit that has a few cars and all this stuff from the garage that got torn down. Talk about this guy in a second. But since we're going newest to oldest, this is a 1987 Mazda Rx-7. We have a lot of plans for this one. I was actually just about to start working on this, and you can tell because in this trunk are all the parts that you need to install a Chevy V8 into a Mazda Rx-7. So I was all set, ready to get to work on that project, and then we wound up moving, and then we had the garage situation without a lift. I was debating, do I start on it? Do I not? And I wound up waiting, and so now the garage will get built, we'll get the lift back in there, and then we'll be stuffing a V8 into this car, totally restoring it. Should be a good build. And that leaves us with the 55 Chevy Bel Air. So this previously belonged to my father-in-law. We bought it from him in 2012. I redid the seats. The rest of the interior could still use a little bit of work, but it's pretty sound. It's got a Chevy 350 in there. Not too long ago, I redid the entire fuel system, so now it runs well. That was one of the problems I was having, is it would stall at stoplights. Turned out the guy who put the engine in routed the fuel line like in between the radiator hose and the engine block. And when the engine slowed down, the fuel would start boiling and it would die. So I fixed that problem, and now I have a power steering unit that's gonna go in here. Should help it drive better. I'm also planning on changing up the looks a little bit. Right now it's, pretty classical Bel Air. I think we're gonna go for a little bit more hot rod. So more of that coming on our channel, again, once the garage is done. So that is it for the garage update, or update that there is not a garage, and status of the various vehicles around here. Alan does have more over at his house. Maybe we'll hear about them sometime, or maybe we'll just do some work on them, because I think most of them need some work, but we don't know really what's gonna happen because we just plan things out here 1 week at a time. So until next time, I think I gotta go figure out something for next week. See you later.